Jesus provides us with three parables in the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verses 24 through 33. And each of those parables start off by saying the kingdom of heaven is like. In the first parable with the wheat and tares, he describes a man who sows good seed. And in the night, the enemy comes and he sows tares in the field. And so his servants ask him, what should we do? And instead of telling them to uproot the tares, he tells them to leave them until the end of the harvest. And then he would take the tares and burn them, and he would take the wheat and stow them away in the barn. And immediately I make that parallel that we are the wheat. And although we go through so much darkness and there's so much evil around us and we go through our own obstacles, God is there with us. And one significant piece that I take away from that parable is that the master had to have some sort of confidence in knowing that the wheat would still grow and flourish. And I believe that God has confidence in us as well, that even though we're going through so many obstacles in our life, that God is with us. And I'm going through a really tough season in my life, and I literally have to pray every day, Lord, can you just give me strength to get through this day? Sometimes I feel like, God, are you with me? But I know that he is. And the master never stopped looking over his harvest. And I believe that even though we're going through so much, that God is watching us and he's with us even in the hard times. And then we move on to the next parable of the mustard seed. And although that mustard seed is so small, he describes that when that mustard seed grows, that even birds, they rest on the branches. And I believe sometimes we can feel like we're so insignificant, but God has so much for us. You know, if we really trust in God and lean on him, how can we impact the people around us on our jobs and our family members? And in the last parable about the leaven, I believe it mimics the wheat and the tare. And it talks about the woman who uses 3 measures of leaven to leaven the whole lump. And I believe that's like us. We are that leaven that's sprinkled throughout. And I believe we were not meant to be separated. The word of God says that we are the salt of the earth. He says we are the light of the world. And I believe we are not meant to be hidden under a basket like it talks about. And I believe that God is really looking for a people who's willing to persevere. I believe he's looking for a people that is willing to fight. And I think just like the master, how he was watching over his people, God is watching over us. And one day, just like he separated the wheat and the tares, we are going to be separated from this world, and we are going to be able to meet God in heaven.